Welcome to another Saturday Morning Nerd Out. We are in episode 25. Can you believe it's been almost half a year that we've been nerding out on Saturday morning. So welcome everyone to this. I'm Graveyard, and I want to introduce our other hosts of this panel, this show. If we know the father, the son, and the daughter, she's got to be the mother to the father, and she plays in the World Between Worlds just for fun because she can see the past, present, and future. Without it, the one and only Fray Girl.
I just love they get more like out there. Pretty soon I'm gonna be like, I split the atom. No, I didn't. I don't math. So
how's it
that's
going?
Why good. I was gonna say that's why the world is the way it is, because I don't math. It's good. I've had a pretty good week. How about you?
Pretty good. I'm excited to nerd out today. As of right now, it's just Fray and I, but we can make this happen. I think Captain may not be joining us, but shout out to Mezzo, who's not feeling good. I think Captain's not feeling good today either. But let's get into this. But before we get into this nerd out, we gotta thank our sponsor. So whether you're just waking up for us with this nerd out, staying up late playing games with us, ducking a Retro Alcove for hours, or just tired from all your Saber fights, our sponsor is just for you. Dubby has no calories, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors. Each serving has 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is the same with 2 cups of coffee. And because it contains Neurofactor, it delivers energy and focus with none of the jitters. So to get 10% off, go to w.gg and use the code KCP2023. Thank you, W, our sponsor.
Finger licking good.
Yes. And right there, the code is below it as well. Hey, yes. Chuck, say Wong. I think James and Phil are both using the distance learning stuff. Lick your fingers, says James. I'm getting there, James. I'm getting there. Oh, man.
ASMR for James.
Yes. So on the Nerd Out today, we, as you can see by the title, Baldur's Gate 3, American Horror Story Delicate, Loki, really the final trailer, our Force Vision games, which hopefully everyone is participating in. If not, join our Discord server, let us know your theories, and give us the red, yellow, and green to let us know if you agree with our theories or not.
Yeah, come on, play along. It's better when people play along.
Yes, it is. But before we get into that, we know there is a God of Mischief that's not just here on screen with me. We have the final trailer for Loki. I want to know your thoughts on this. What do you predict? I know we're going to have a new game.
Yes.
We should call it the Mayhem of Mischief or something like that.
I was thinking that, I don't know what to call it yet. They kind of, with these things, they just kind of come to me. It's weird. And it's usually 5 minutes before the show. Not really Sometimes, yes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like trying to think of what the MCU really, I mean, what is it? Like, I guess it could be multiverse something, the MCU multiverse files or something. Ooh, that actually sounds pretty good. I like that, multiverse files, multiverse memos. No, memo's not good enough. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. This is something.
What do they say? Now and forever, or once and forever? What's for all time?
Oh, for all time, always? Oh my gosh, you know what we could do? Okay, well, I was thinking about, so we can do multiverse. Let's say we do multiverse files, and we can do it Miss Minute edition, because she seems to be the one that's in an all in O or some. And I don't know. We could call it the Miss Minutes files, and actually, that would cover just about anything, because TVA is supposed to have stuff on everybody, but
yes.
We'll talk about that. I was thinking about that. I was like, it's got to be something with Miss Minutes or something with the TVA, like the TVA files or something, because there's a lot of stuff. Like MCU, I'm not as like, oh, it's going to take this kind of storyline, because you don't know. You might get a secret invasion, and what the hell? Was that? I'm like, sorry, but I was like, what the? This is not what I signed up for. So
we should call it the King Files.
Oh, we should.
But we have a captain here with us this morning.
Ruse.
There you go.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, we do have join us a captain. Hey there, Captain.
Hi.
Hi.
It's so lovely to see you.
So lovely to see you too.
Hi, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas. I love your corgi. Corgi
what?
They're so cute. Your corgi ears are so cute. They're adorable.
Oh, I love the DMV of the multiverse.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry that your allergies are getting you.
Oh, well, I mean, also, it's one of the bad things about being a celiac. Like, I had something that had the littlest amount of like the wheat, stuff that was fried in the same oil, and I'm like, it's fine.
It doesn't. Yeah. I get it.
This is why I can't have anything with wheat.
Oh, so
anyway, so continue on for you.
Loki.
No, I was gonna say, I wanted to tell you this. So Husby got me this amazing trail mix, and I loved it. And I was like, oh, I gotta eat this. And it had like pumpkin seeds and all this other stuff. Well, the banana chips were cooked in coconut oil.
Oh,
and coconut oil like triggers my eczema. So like my eyes have been like all crusty. And I'm like, what is going on? I totally am not doing coconut oil anymore. And then I looked at the thing after eating the whole bag. The whole family size bag.
Goodness.
And I was like, okay, all right. I was like, the banana chips are in coconut oil. I'm like, well, that explains it.
It's actually my favorite oil to cook with.
I know a lot of people do. It's a very healthy oil, and it's good for your skin and everything.
So weird.
Yeah, but I can't.
So weird.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, no. Oh, anyways, let's get back to we're boring people. Let's get back to the show.
Yes. So, what are your thoughts on Loki?
I like that. Graveyard's just like, I'm not even gonna say no. Keep going. I'm just gonna be like, yeah. So let's talk about it.
I mean, it looks like someone deleted my potatoes overlay, so that's cool.
Someone what? No,
it wasn't me.
Potatoes. No, I saw those potatoes not that long ago. Who did that?
That's not there anymore, so that's cool. All right. Anyway, Loki final trailer. What do you think? What do you expect?
Oh, what dicks!
I expect that we are going to find out that Loki or Sylvie, they are the Doctor Who of the MCU. Actually, I don't think that at all, because they really are, but they'll never say it, because then that would be some sort of like copyright thing. And so there's a Doctor Strange, but
yeah, it's just a Doctor Who remake. Not remakes. It's a Doctor Who style show. Like, they're just basically like, yes, so Loki's a Time Lord now.
Well, yes,
we're not going to call it a Time Lord.
Exactly. We're going to call him the God of Mischief, the God of Space and Time. That's what Doctor Who is. And I actually, there's a lot of I could go back. I could talk about this.
Mm.
There's an episode in season 1 where they do the actual Doctor Who and companion one shot in there where they're both doing it and they're kind of almost back to back and they're like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And I'm like, this is a total Doctor Who moment, people. Everybody take a snapshot because it ain't gonna happen again. But I just think that because we're talking about time and we're talking about space and we're going back through different variations of things, I think anything could happen in this show. And I honestly think that's what people love about the show is that you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know from minute to minute what Loki or Sylvie, who seems to be a really like a double boiled essence of Loki. Like she's hardcore Loki. And I think that's what, so I'm expecting that they'll get at some point right now they're so far apart from each other. I don't think we'll see them back together probably until the 3rd or 4th episode. But I do see that we'll get some really interesting stuff. I'm more excited about
I'm hoping Deadpool shows up. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, I really am hoping for more of the player, like the supporting players that we got last year. So like B15, I think was her name. I always want to say B12, but that's a vitamin. B15, and then Casey. I know we saw a thing about Casey. He's kind of, on there. I was really excited about Casey because I was like, this kid doesn't know anything. And then I was like, maybe he knows everything. So then I was like, I think he's just pretending. And I am of the opinion that Victor Timely is the scientist. Obviously, he's the scientist. I don't think that he's He Who Remains. I think he's another like Kang variant. And he's the one that first found out about all of this. And He Who Remains kills him. He's the one that killed the scientist. And that's why he feels that he needs to be the one to corral all the other kings and keep them out of this time, or he thought he should keep them out of the timeline. Like this is his penance for that. I think that's what we're going to find. That's my main thing is that. So
you don't think do you think Victor Timely created the TVA?
Yes, I do. I think he created the TVA. I think he figured it all of that out. He was the first one to figure out the whole multiverse. And he came from the future and went to the past. He's the one that Ravonna actually, she dies. That's what he's the one that, and that's why it happens. Like, I think He Who Remains, who clearly is also in love with Ravonna, obviously. I mean, I think that's just kind of like as the Doctor would say,
it's a Nexus event.
Yeah, it's a Nexus event. It's something that has to happen. And so they've got Loki. So you've got Loki, who's the god of mischief. Sylvie's the goddess of mischief or whatever. I'm just going to call her Enchantress from now on because Sylvie is Enchantress. And you've got them and they're fighting against it. Well, He Who Remains knew that they would. But he's doing all of this as a penance because Ravonna got killed. And I'm thinking it's probably because he was trying to kill Victor Timely and missed him first and got Ravonna. But they both love Ravonna, and then they try to bring her back. It never happens. And so then He Who Remains kills him too, because he knows what's going to happen. And then, so it's just like this, that's what's going to happen. I think that Ravonna is going to die. I don't think she's going to be completely dead because obviously whatever, but this variant's going to find out that Ravonna died, and then she's going to be mad and she's going to try to team up with our heroes. I've got a lot of thoughts on it, and I've been thinking about it for quite a while. So I'm like, but I really do think that this whole Victor timeline, everybody's like, oh no, that's He Who Remains. I don't think it is. I think He Who Remains kills him, and that's why he's doing what he's doing. It's a penance for killing Ravonna and killing Victor Timely. And so he was trying to live out his dream. He was trying to say, okay, I'm gonna do what you wanted to do to keep this this timeline there, and then they screw it all up because they don't know what happened. And so this is where we're going to find out what happened. And then Loki's going to be like, see, Sylvie, I was right. And then she's going to try to stab him again. And then that'll be fun.
I mean,
and
this
wackiness will ensue.
It's funny because this is starting to almost sound like, well, it's like Doctor Who and Sliders. We're trying to get back to our own dimension, people.
I love Sliders.
Sliders too.
Yeah.
Sliders 2 is amazing. And
so I know you haven't seen the first season, right, Captain?
No, I'm waiting for us to do our watch.
Okay.
Oh, we need to do that.
But I mean, yes. I know obviously season 2. You like Loki is. Are you excited that he has his own show, at least?
Yeah, I am. I like Loki. I like Tom Hiddleston. I think he's great. And he's fantastic. Also, I would just love to see him. One of my dreams is to see him and Deadpool together because I think that would just be so funny. I think
that would be great. Yeah, we need to watch. We need to watch season 1.
We need to do that. We need to do that. We have 28 days before episode 1, so I think we can watch these.
I think we can do it.
Yeah, let's do that. We should plan that out. Let's plan it out.
I mean, we still gotta do some N64 recording.
Yes, that too.
We'll do it.
So, we'll have to do it.
Yeah.
Among all the other things, like getting New Order all together and everything else. So, which I'm excited for. Anyways, but yes, Loki. Loki is great. Sorry, I did not say it last night.
Yes, 28 days later.
28 days
later. Yes. So here's my thoughts, and we are obviously we're gonna have predictions. We're gonna have a game again, so make sure to check that out. And Captain, if you have a Marvel theme we can use for the game.
I will. I'll make one up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, think Loki when or actually no, don't just think like overall Marvel multiverse type thing, and then that's
I will
think chaos.
Yes.
Yeah, I will do chaos. Chaos is that's not hard.
So,
chaos. I'll make a Loki. Loki music. Yeah, order is hard. Chaos is hard. Zombie Loki.
Sorry, go for it. Go Graveyard. We love you, and we're gonna stop.
We love you.
We always think big things are gonna happen in these Marvel shows, and they don't. And I think that's gonna continue to happen. I think this will still be its own thing. We may have something small, minute happen that affects the timeline, and we're to say this is another piece to the Secret Wars step in the King Dynasty, but it's not gonna get any major revelations, I think, from it. What I think will happen, and this is a prediction as of right now, is that there's big implications that Victor Timely, hey Van, that Victor Timely created the TVA, and I think he's going to come back to fix the TVA, and this goes into Fray's theory, and this is where He Who Remains will kill him because he's outside of time, outside of his timeline, so therefore he's going to be Victor Timely is going to be a good guy in helping fix the broken timeline with his device that we see with Mobius going out to try to fix it. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think it will be a couple episodes before we see Sylvie and Loki team back up. I think it'll take an episode or two of Loki to convince everyone about what happened, and the time slippage will be that key to prove something's not right.
Do you think we'll see a lot of mirroring from season 1, like parallels, like that kind of?
I think we will revisit parts from season 1. I think he is like I think that what they're going to do is it's that theory that the Big Bang happens and then the big decompression happens, where the universe sucks back in itself, then Big Bang happens again, and we just are in the cycle of time that you can fast forward through and just keep going through the same thing, which is what He Who Remains says. It's the same thing that happens over and over and over again. So it is a cycle, and I think he'll cycle through and relive everything.
I could see that. I mean, it's so open right now. I do disagree that we won't get something. If anything, we'll get another Kang. We'll see another Kang.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, if anything, we will. But Loki actually did introduce us to Kang and introduce us
Mhm.
to the big bad. It's the last show that really did something major to move the story forward.
Right.
Mhm.
So I wonder if they're not going to repeat that just because it was so because they'd already done it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they put themselves on that path. I think I mean I'd say I'd give that a 50-50. Like
Mm.
it's either going to go really small or they're going to go really big. I don't see it in the middle. I don't see them doing that just because the Loki vision was prior to this put everything you can on Disney Plus to get subscriptions kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so because like WandaVision and Loki were in the original plan. Like they were
Mhm.
in Feige's original plan. He didn't want to do a ton of Disney shows. And then Iger came back and was like, "Pump them out, baby." And then he was like, "Yeah, no, don't pump them out." You know, it's like, what the okay,
Yeah.
Iger, you know,
I,
go
I
back.
just I
Go
just
back in
am
your
waiting.
coffin, Iger. I'm sorry. What did I say? Oh my gosh. What's in this coffee this morning? Oh, it's vodka, not
Sounds
Ah.
like
coffee.
sounds like sounds like
So
sounds like an interesting.
yeah, I'm excited.
Make sure that people aren't putting stuff in your coffee there, Fray. You're excited.
Yeah.
Yee.
So
I'm just waiting for the time police to show up. You know, since this is timey wimey and what wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the time cops to show up from Star Trek as well. 'Cause, you know,
Right. Just like let's just
might as
throw
well.
everything at
Yeah.
it. Let's
Let's
just
throw
throw
everything at
everything.
it. Why not? We're gonna have some time cops to show up from Star Trek. We're just gonna have Doctor Who show
Douglas
up.
Adams, isn't
all
there
right.
like a
Douglas,
Let's
time
yeah.
police?
speaking of time things,
Potatoes.
it's time to move
Let's do it.
on and into time dilation and the
Oh,
world between worlds.
ah, Force
Uh,
Vision. Oh, so. Oh, wait, what? What are we doing?
all right. You're not clicking things, are you?
No,
Okay.
I clicked nothing.
All right.
I clicked nothing.
Is the overlay
Whoa,
showing
that
up?
was weird. That was so weird. She went, I clicked nothing. And then as she did that, it changed.
Are you
That
seeing
was
it?
awesome.
Powers.
What in the world? This is going very, very slow. There we go.
Yeah, I've got powers. I have powers.
All right. So
That was just
I did
great.
not click anything though.
We got to clip
it's
that.
weird. Yes, it
We're
was.
gonna clip
I was
that.
clicking it and it was doing nothing. So anyway, we're on to the Force Visions game, Ahsoka Edition. Fray, take it away.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, it's me again. All right. So I'm going to give you guys a quick party at the brain. I'm going to give you guys a quick recap and then we'll talk about points and all that fun stuff. All right. So part 4, Fallen Jedi. I have seen that people call it the Fallen Jedi. It's not. It's actually just called Fallen Jedi, which I think actually my thoughts on it, the title is it's any of the people that use the lightsabers in this.
Any of them?
In any of them that use the lightsabers in this episode, I think all are considered fallen Jedi.
Even Sabine.
Even Sabine. Okay. So, and the reason being is yeah, because you don't know. Yeah. The reason being is because of the circumstances of this episode only, that they would be considered, if we're looking at it from Hugh Yang's eyes, they would all be considered fallen Jedi. Right. Okay.
Yes.
So just to let you know. And then the whole Ahsoka thing and that fallen thing. That's clever there, little Filoni. All right. So we pick up where we left off at the end of last episode. Ahsoka, Sabine, and Hugh Yang are planet side on Cetos trying to send out a call to Hera. Morgan starts the star map coordinate process by bringing the Eye of Sion into the atmosphere. Meanwhile, on Home 1, we see Chopper. Love that little Sith Lord. He's so cute, that little Sith Lord. Jason and Hera head out to assist our heroes with help from Captain Teva. We love Captain Teva. Ranger Teva? Captain Teva. I think it's Captain Teva. Yeah. There are several fight scenes in part 4, like lots of lightsaber battles. It's like Like everybody's getting their sabers out. It's a
Oh,
saber
hey.
fest.
Oh, speaking of getting lightsabers out and pulling things out,
Okay.
young Phil.
Hey!
We have summoned him. He's been summoned.
This is young Phil's first appearance on
Welcome,
the show.
sir.
This is my first appearance on a Nerd Out. I am normally awake right now. I'm just now having coffee because I didn't buy coffee this morning. My job got canceled. Came home.
Oh
and,
no.
Now I'm drinking coffee here.
He's not drinking
I
Debbie.
love
He's
the-
drinking coffee this
I love
morning.
this in a Spider-Man.
Yeah, of course. James, whoa.
Okay, no, what James is actually doing is this.
Yeah.
No. He's doing the whoa.
Whoa.
What is it? He's doing the wow.
Wow.
All
Okay.
right, guys. Let me finish this real quick
move
and
on.
then we can do
Yeah,
it. All right.
Yes.
So, so we get the lightsaber, saber. So we get the Ahsoka versus Marok. He's not who you think he is.
Still think he's not who we think he is, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. And Sabine versus Shen. So this is the matchup that caused Sabine not to be able to wear bikinis. Or the rematch for that, I guess I should say. And I call her Little Mouse,
Okay.
but I have to say it with a Russian accent. Lethal Mouse.
Little mouse.
So the winners head to the temple ruins to meet up with Balin, Big Bear. I call him Big Bear. Ahsoka makes it to him first, and I really feel like Balin Skull took this episode. He took it and he made out with it. I mean, this was his episode. He was the most compelling character in this. I'm still like, what is his deal? What is he doing? Why do we like him? He's got such broad shoulders. I just want to give him a big hug. That's the thought process when I see this man every single time. So I just feel like there's so many questions that we have. I don't think that he's a Thrawn acolyte. I think he wants to take Thrawn down, and he wants to do it in the other galaxy so nobody sees it. That's really what I think is going on. I don't think that's going to happen, and I'm really sad about it. Anyway, so
I have a theory.
They fight. So Ahsoka and Balin fight, and Sabine makes it to the temple after Ahsoka takes her left hand and puts it on the star map and burns her hand, and then the star map gets like flung. She yeets it, and then Sabine picks it up. So she burns her hand on the star map. I think that's really important to the next episode. Balin dispatches Ahsoka and convinces Sabine to give him the star map so she can find Ezra. Ahsoka wakes up in the world between worlds and sees an unexpected person there. And I'm not going to say who it is because I'm trying really hard not to really give it all away. But if you guys haven't seen it yet, why are you doing this? Yes, it's we find out Jar Jar is actually a Sith Lord.
Yes.
Oh, they actually did that finally?
No.
Yeah, he's a Sith Lord. And Chopper is actually his apprentice. These are all the things we find out in this episode. I'm kidding.
Yes. So did anyone get any points, and where are we at in standings?
Okay, so yes. So young Phil, who's not on screen right now, and Jamas 5,000 got points. They each got 10,000 points. I'm very yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
So young Phil said that they're going to go full hyperspace mode and travel to another galaxy. He was right about that. They do at the end. He wasn't right about we find Thrawn in a broken state. Ahsoka is going to fight with Shin. He wasn't right about that. And then we get a flashback with Ahsoka and Anakin. We don't know what the whole thing at the end is, so I can't say yes or no on that.
Yeah, to be determined.
Yeah, so that's to be determined. But they go into hyperspace. I mean, that's a big thing in the episode. So I was like, I got to give it to him for that. So basically, young Phil is winning this because he's throwing everything at it.
No, but hold on, but it's not just everything. The things that I'm throwing at it are actually pretty like pointed and have points to them. So I mean,
wait, how many predictions did he have? You only get one.
This is all the same one. It's like he
so
just
we can
does
just
the
list
dot,
out
dot,
30-minute theory.
My goodness.
You should see what his theory for next week is.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out that Balin's a scroll. That's what we're gonna. That's what's gonna
He's a
happen.
scroll. You got it.
No,
Okay,
that's
that's it. I'm
absolutely-
putting that down. I'm putting that down.
Absolutely wrong.
Aubrey.
He's not a.
No, don't really with it.
He's not a.
What?
Yeah, absolutely wrong. He's not a scroll. You know what he is? He's Mephisto, and we know it's
Oh,
exactly.
Mephisto. Yes.
He is Mephisto.
Mephisto.
All right, so who is winning overall right now?
Let me get them. I didn't actually put the points up. Give me a second. I gotta do the points.
Mezzo, because she just wins.
Actually, I don't think
I
she
know.
is. She is.
Linda.
I actually think it might be Phil,
Oh,
which is weird that he's here today.
I know, right?
We're doing that, but
I
well,
am.
let me see if I
am
can
here
find
for
it.
the. I
It's
am
rigged.
here.
It's
for
rigged.
the-
Totally rigged.
all right. Well, we
Let's
can
see.
you can just keep us posted in
Yeah.
Discord. So
Hold on,
Fray-
hold on.
Oh.
Actually, young Phil and Mezzo are tied.
Told you it was Mezzo.
how many points?
20,000 red travel biscuits apiece.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Nice.
All right, Fray,
Uh,
since you're up, do you want to give us your theory first?
Yeah, sure.
What was your prediction for next episode?
Yeah, my prediction for next episode is Jason. The reason Jason has come to with his mother, she doesn't know this, but he's going to actually commune with the Purgle, and they're going to help Ahsoka and Hera and all of them get travel the same path, because the Purgle can see them, can see the paths. They don't need the star map. So Jason's going to be like, look, we're trying to find Ezra. Can you help us? And they're going to be like, Ezra, man, he's my bra. Let's do this, and then they're going to go to the other galaxy. I think that's what's going to happen. And yeah.
I give it a green.
Yeah, agree.
Green.
Green. Young Phil, do you know
Green's
our
green.
do you know our color scale? Whether you agree,
Oh.
100% is 100% that happens green, 50% likely chance is yellow, and 10% or 0% is
0% is
red.
red. Yeah.
Legitimately, I do kind of have a theory, only from what I'm gathering. Now, I do think that maybe in this, because they're looking for, my God, my brain. They're looking for Ezra, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Thrawn.
I think they will and Thrawn. I think they will actually probably find a holocron that will give them a clue to his whereabouts.
Oh, I love that.
There will be probably, some interference in getting it, because obviously the bad guys are probably going to want it too. So there's going to be sort of a race thing that will happen to
Okay.
get that holocron
All right.
thing.
Okay.
That's the theory, but this is based on watching nothing.
Hey, you know what? You're not that far off.
I will give it a yellow. How about you, Fray?
I'm going to give it a yellow too, because I think it could happen. I think, you know what, that Rebels really leaned into the holocrons the last few seasons. And so I could absolutely see that there's some sort of whether even if it's a Sith holocron, just something that actually has a message from Ezra. And I could absolutely see that. And that's how they find it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting.
So Phil, was that green from you or is that from James?
That's from me.
Okay, what is that for Aubrey's or for Fray's?
For both.
Okay, green for both. Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
Phil, since you're here,
Okay.
I know you have your prediction. What's your prediction for next week?
I've got a couple things that I predicted for next week, and it's just based off the storytelling. So I mean, a lot of the things that I guess are always based on okay, what's the type of storytelling that we got going on, things like that. So, Ahsoka's gonna have a come to home moment with Anakin, right? So basically, she's gonna have a moment with Anakin in the War Between Worlds, and he's gonna inform her that it's not her time again, and he's gonna send her back. She's gonna wake up and she's gonna be badly broken and hurt from the fall and everything on there. Sabine is gonna find her. They're gonna regroup. And at this point, we're gonna. The biggest thing I'm throwing out here is that we're gonna see Zeb this episode, and the reason is because we had Carson Teeves the last episode. We know that Zeb is a Republic starfighter at this point, or a New Republic starfighter. So I think that we see Zeb show up. I think Marok isn't dead. I think Marok is an unholy monster created by Morgan. So it's
that
not
can't be killed.
Exactly. I think she revives
The
him.
monster created by my cat.
But I
Sorry,
think
my cat's name is Morgan. I apologize.
I think Morgan's gonna revive him. That he is not. Basically she's force magic, or he's force magic. He's not going to be a person.
Do you think he is a body under there, or just the souls of the magic, that his suit is just to contain all the souls and magic?
I kind of have a feeling that that's what it is, because like when Ahsoka cut him and the black smoke came out, I was like, okay, there's more significance to this, because he didn't just die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make him a person. Like it was a big deal. Remember that whenever Filoni does anything in storytelling, it's never there's never anything that's just arbitrary. Everything has a reason. So for the fact that Ahsoka hit him and black smoke came out of his chest, and he didn't have like electronics on his chest the way that like a Vader would, or the way that some of the other Sith acolytes have, I think that he is Morgan's force minion, right? I also don't think that you hire someone with the voice talents that they did for just like just those two lines, right? Like you can get do that, right? I think that he has a bigger role to play somewhere down the line in this. And again, like I said, I think the swerve is that he's not how we all thought that it was, where it's like, oh, he's Anakin's clone, or he's Luke's clone, or he is somebody bigger in the lore, or they're reintroducing an older character. I think it is an original character. I think he's basically being built up to be a forceful antagonist in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's going to be the one, because we're seeing the signs of it, where Balin is doing the things that he's doing as a mercenary, but he has some ambiguity to the way that he feels about things. Like you see him revere certain things, and you see the way that he has respect for certain things. I think that Thrawn and Morgan are going to do something that crosses his line, and Marok is going to be the enforcer that's willing to do whatever Morgan needs him to be. And I think Marok is the one that ends up killing Balin at the end.
Now, willing or compelled by spell?
Willing, because I don't think that Marok is I don't think it is he or she is a willing participant in anything. I think that they are just going through the motions, because they're basically just force magic embodied. And then the last thing is, at the end of this episode, because I keep saying this every week, we're gonna get a Thrawn reveal. But this time there's a little bit more to it, because now we know that they've already gone into the other galaxy, right? And even if we don't have the heroes meet up with them or find their way to that galaxy, at the end of the episode, you have a chance for a small bit conversation between Morgan and Thrawn. And it can be something as small as the Thanos reveal, where it's just you see the back of Thrawn's head, they have a conversation, and then at the end it just pans over to his face, and then it ends on that.
I want to see the back of his head. That's a thing. I just want to see the back of his head. I'm sick of this finding their faces. I would have loved if they had, instead of how they ended the episode, if they had just done the voice and we hadn't seen anything. And so we just heard the actual like lines,
right.
And then you see Ahsoka's confusion, and that's it. And then the Vader theme is at the end. I think that would have been more
that's the sequel.
powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that would have been much more powerful than the way that they did it. I think that the way they did it was great. I loved that whole, like, you know, just seeing him in the robes and everything. I thought that was awesome. But I was just like, we didn't need to see that yet. We
Mhm.
had so much in this episode that I feel like either don't have as much, make that point, like stick that landing, or move that to the beginning so that it whets the appetite for the rest of the episode. I could see that. That was like my only thing about this episode that I was like, you know,
Yeah.
they didn't really need that. It was a little bit much. It was like almost overkill. And you know what? Filoni's excited. This is really his first live action show that he's really been the only one that's been in charge of live action wise. So I know how it is. It's your first time. You get a little excited. Sometimes you prematurely do these things. It's okay. It's all right. We all do it. It's okay, Dave. We forgive you.
Is that a premature joke?
I feel just no, girl. No, this is a family-friendly show. I don't know what you're talking about.
Family-friendly.
No idea. This is
show. That's you're thinking a different channel there, young Phil.
This sounds like we should also do an Ahsoka watch as well, because
yes,
at the same time, because I feel lost.
There's your head's gonna explode.
It's
gonna explode. All right.
Okay.
All
right.
Just
so,
you know.
Here's my prediction is I think I agree with Phil. Obviously, you know, green, red, yellow, green for all 5 theories that he had, and that.
Right.
I think what's going to happen is because we actually see Ahsoka and Balin essentially on the same path. They're both gray Jedi, and a lot of people argue gray Jedi don't exist. It's the Force is just a weapon, and how you use it is good or bad. The Force itself isn't good or bad. It's just a tool. It's just a tool.
Right. It's neutral.
I think what she sees and what she starts to do in the World Between Worlds in episode 5, being the halfway point, is it's going to start steering her back towards the way of the Jedi.
Okay.
I think that it's going to be, you know, because like I said, they're on the same path, right? She's using, you know, dark side forces. He is still using light side forces and somewhat too. He's just a mercenary, and they will both realize that their path of Grey Jedi and being Switzerland neutral isn't good. That you need to be on one side or the other. And this is still going to my overall theory that she's going to help build the Jedi Academy, because she's going to have a revelation with who she meets in the World Between Worlds and what she could potentially see past, present, and future, that she's going to help steer the course to rebuild the Jedi Order with Luke. That's
okay.
So I think it's the first step of her going back and following the path of a true Jedi.
Right.
What do you guys think? Red, yellow, or green?
I'll say it's a yellow, just because I'm not sure. I have to watch the show, and that way I'll do better predictions if I watch the show, I think. But it sounds as good of a theory as either Fray's or Phil's.
Phil, what do you think?
I give it a green, man. I think overall, I think overall that's probably where the story is going, is Ahsoka finding her way back to the path.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, again, just having these compelling stories about masters and apprentices. And I think that's also part of, with Anakin being redeemed, I think that's part of what this story arc for the next couple episodes is going to be, is Anakin's redemption and saying, hey, you have to do things the right way. You are a better person. I guarantee you there's going to be something in there where you are a stronger, better person than I was. And he's going to acknowledge that, given that it's, when you get Anakin and him not being, douche Vader, You know, and then
I mean, he's kind of douchey Anakin too.
no, but I mean, like when you go through the
Fair.
Clone Wars, he's less douchey.
Yes,
And he's
he's way less douchey in the series. Yes,
right, and
I
that's
actually feel like
who,
he's a good person.
right, and that's who Hayden has multiple times has said that he bases his version of the new versions of Anakin that he's been playing. He bases it on Matt Lanter's version of Anakin Skywalker. So
That's much to me. That's a much better. Yeah, I probably would like his portrayal of Anakin much more watching it that way.
yeah, and like I
I
said,
don't like
it's more
I
subtle
don't like
now.
the prequels for that reason.
yeah, he has said he said in a couple interviews leading up to Obi-Wan that he's been basing all of his Anakin performances on Matt Lanter. He said just because you know, that Matt Lanter's take on Anakin expanded everything about Anakin Skywalker, and he said he felt like he was a much more grounded character, and he was like, this is the character that I want to play, so that's what I'm playing.
Right.
I like it. I like that. I like that a lot. I also like the fact that Anakin is kind of a Force ghost. That's sort of, from what I've heard from everyone, it sounds like he's kind of like this Force ghost that hangs out with Ahsoka at times to guide her.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've seen him, and she is in the world between worlds, because I know you've seen Rebels, so like you know that concept. So she is there, and we're not really sure what he is yet. And so that's like it was just like that little tiny taste of it.
Yeah. Keep in mind
because this does take place after
Mm-hmm.
Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Years.
Yeah.
Years.
Okay.
Yeah. This the big thing about this, and I'm sure you guys mentioned this before, but like this is the first on-screen portrayal of the two of them together, and that's like
yeah,
the big deal.
Yeah,
that's
live
awesome.
action on screen. Yeah, it's
so that's also a prediction that he's going to show up more and be like a guiding force for Ahsoka.
Yeah. Well, that was something I predicted in the first episode, is that we're going to get a scene of them training together, or a flashback scene or something like that. I mean, you don't really need to de-age Ahsoka very much, because the makeup makes up for her, and she basically looks the same as it is.
Rosario Dawson, it looks exactly the same as she did when she first started acting, and I'm sorry, but she really does.
Yeah,
anyway,
really does, actually. No, I agree.
Like I was saying it in the chat. Like Hayden looks like a teenager that has a couple of age marks on him. So he does not look like he's aged that much in the last 40 years, right? So it's like, the dude, you can do minor de-aging on him and do that scene. Kind of what they did in the Obi-Wan series when they did the de-aging on that. He just basically looked exactly like he did in the in the prequels.
Yeah.
So Fray, what's your color scheme for me?
All right, so I'm gonna give it. I really love this theory about her putting her back on the. You and I have an agree to disagree on how we view the Force.
Yes.
So that's like I feel like she is going to be the embodiment of the light side of the Force. She's going to be the embodiment of all of the positivity in the Force, because that's who she is. I think right now she's like Buffy after she came back from the dead, where she's going through the motions right now, and when she comes back out of the world between worlds, it will have reinvigorated her with that she's on the correct path for her. I think this is the step to get her to the wisdom that she becomes, like the white Ahsoka, the Ahsoka white. I think that's where she's leading. I think she will teach others, but I don't think it's going to be a Jedi doctrine. I think it's going to be this is what the Force is doctrine. Like this is what the Force is. You can manipulate it in the way that you want, but you have to understand there are consequences for the manipulation. And so I think that's who she's going to be. She's not going to be that, she's, to be honest, she's part the daughter now, and the daughter is that light. So she will gravitate towards the light anyway. So I just think that that's where we're going with it. I think we're saying the exact same thing. We're just coming at it from different perspectives.
Yeah, so so you agree that's just going to be like, this is the step in her finding her path.
Yeah, she's just as lost as Sabine is.
Mhm.
She's been lost since she went
Left.
up against Vader.
And left. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean she has been lost since then. I think this is going to either give her a confirmation of where she's going is correct, or it's going to give her a kick in the pants and say, "What the heck have you been doing? You know, you need to get back on your path, not the Jedi path, the Ahsoka path." Because she said she wants Sabine to be herself.
Right.
And I think that's where that comes from. And I think that's where Filoni is going with this, that it's going to be Jedis. You're a Jedi if you're true to yourself and the Force. That's really it. So, and I love it.
All right.
All right. So
I was for some reason I kept thinking that Ahsoka was Anakin's student, correct?
yes.
Yeah. But then she left
Okay.
before.
And then she left right before Order 66.
Mhm.
And I would imagine that I don't know why, but I keep thinking she's a great Jedi for some reason.
A lot of people say she is. It just depends on if you believe in the Grey Jedi doctrine or not. Some people do, some people don't.
Oh, I'm told,
most
I told
people
she's
don't.
a great job.
But-
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
great
She's considered a Grey Jedi as far as like
yeah.
the way that everybody looks at it, just because she's not light, she's not dark, she uses the Force to her
She's
advantage.
agnostic.
Yeah, she's it's
agnostic?
the equivalent of agnostics, right? So
Yeah, she's an agnostic.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a Gnostic Jedi. No, I'm just kidding.
Gnostic Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
guys.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yes.
I love
Move
talking
on.
about Ahsoka, and I would talk about Ahsoka for hours with you three specifically. But I think we need to move on
We
because
do.
we're getting.
Hold on.
All right. American Horror Story season 12 is coming out this
crap. I can't believe it's
October.
been
God.
And
12
it is now they're saying this is part 1 of the season. So just like last season, there was 2 seasons in the single season. They didn't stretch the entire story over 11 to 13 episodes. Looks like it's going to be half and half again. So we'll start with Phil. Have you watched any American Horror Story? Did you watch the trailer by chance?
I have not watched much story. I got into one season and I haven't gone back to watch the rest of them because it's good. I've seen like kind of like the gist of the majority of it. And I haven't seen the trailer for this one, but I saw some of the announcements for this season.
Yeah. How do you feel about that announcement? We can just talk about that announcement. I have strong opinions. How do you feel about Kim Kardashian being in this season of American Horror Story?
I just put it in the chat right now. So
yes.
it is American Horror Story E edition. Dude, for what reason is she? I mean, so you are a reality TV star that got famous for nothing.
a sex tape. No, she got famous for a sex tape, Phil.
She got famous for nothing.
So she is Kim Kardashian. Is that what we?
She got famous for hanging out with Ray J. That's what we're gonna say. It's supposed to be family friendly, right? So let's.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
That's
I apologize.
why I'm censoring it, right? I'm saying like, yeah, she got famous for hanging out with Ray J. Hanging out.
A sax tape? They were playing the saxophone?
Yeah. And
what?
then her sisters really are famous for nothing because they're famous because her sister's famous. If you really want to get into it, I guess you can say Robert Kardashian, but I mean, Robert Kardashian was a lawyer, not a famous person like that. So I mean, like, you've got this going on. And it's like, you're not an actress. You last we heard you're trying to be a lawyer like your dad. So it's kind of like, for what? Why do we need?
What are you doing?
Because I'm Britney, bitch.
Yeah. What why who asked for this is the question. Like, who wanted this?
So do you think it'll ruin the season?
No, because I think the direction and the writing is good enough to where if you have one person who's a bad actor, it's not gonna ruin the entire show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
it depends on who, like, what role the actor is in.
I don't
Right.
think she's gonna have like a major role unless somehow like when they looked
Seems
at
like
it
it is.
like I mean
Yeah.
she's a cameo person. She's not a you know
Oh, yeah. Oh, for that. Yeah. I thought you were talking about a different person. And that's why I was like, well, it depends on what role. No, now I understand. I'm sorry. I'm just going to sit here and drink my coffee.
So you're interested then to see how it plays out? I know you haven't really watched it, but
I mean, I'm interested. The only thing I'm interested in is recognition of talent. It would be kind of nepotism that got her into the show. But if it turns out that she's a good actress, then hey, awesome. Yeah, that's good. You know,
All the power to her.
exactly. Like all the power. If you
Right.
turn out to be a good actress, but if you are a terrible actor, you don't know how to act, and it shows in your acting, never again.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like how Lady Gaga turned out. She was like, even though she was a singer and everything. I mean, singers can be great
Lady
actors, but
Gaga's
she
a
ended up being.
performer. Yeah,
She's
like
a
she's a
performer.
performer, and
She
that's
does
the
great.
whole thing is, she also she was also on stage and did theater and things like that. So it's like, she has a base in acting.
Agreed.
So it's kind of like, with her, it's like she did stage acting, and then was kind of like, okay, well, let's go and do actual films, and it just turns out she took a skill she already had and made it better, and she's
Yes.
actually a good actress, right?
Yes, that happens. Yes.
Yeah, Kim doesn't have that. She's famous. I mean, unless we're talking about performance, but
I mean, I don't know. I'm willing to give her a chance on this.
I was gonna say, like, we know that type of performance doesn't translate to good acting because look at porn.
I mean, yes, but okay.
Let's bring it. Okay. What do you think of it?
It looks very stylized. It looks interesting. I don't know what role she's going to play. I don't know, but it seems like they are not. I think they're kind of doing it both ways. They're marketing it for like, oh, Kim Kardashian, but the way that she's being portrayed on the screen at the moment, I almost didn't recognize her either. Because the way that, like, the silhouette, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what part she has to play yet. I just know that it didn't look half bad. I was like, this looks really interesting. I wonder where they're going with it. But I also was like a little confused at points because it's I'm a chaos potato. It's maybe it's a callback to like to Lady Gaga's season. I can't remember.
Hotel.
I can't remember.
Hotel.
Yeah.
That's the one that I saw.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
have you watched the show as a horror fan, Captain?
I have. I've watched. I stopped watching it after a certain point because it just got way too much. Like, it was
Hi,
kind of
Mezzo.
crazy.
Hey, Mads.
Hi, my love.
So, what do you think of the trailer for this, though? I mean, with Emma Roberts
I think it
coming
looks
back.
beautiful. It looks really beautiful. Like the way that they stylized. Because I couldn't watch it this morning to get a refresher, but I saw the trailer not that long ago, and it looked really interesting. And it looks. I mean, the cinematography, the way they've stylized everything, just looks absolutely gorgeous. So, I can't really say anything much more because it's more like a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
No idea what the storyline itself seems to be a bit confusing. Like,
I have theories on that, but I want to hear from Fray,
right?
On this. I know we discussed it before the show. What we were talking about, American Horror Story. Is this enough to get you to come back to the show? Do you think?
I'm not going to watch this season.
Right off the bat, nope. That's a no for me, guys.
And you know what? I really like Emma Roberts, and I've liked her in past seasons of American Horror Story. I don't need this season. If I really wanted to watch something like that, I would just watch a reality show,
like the Kardashians.
Yeah, I mean that I don't need a
horror.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need a horror version of it because I feel like it's horrible enough as it is. Why would I need anything else? I don't need a stylized version of it because it's pretty stylized all on its own. That's just kind of.
It really is.
And I'm nerd positive, y'all. So this for me not to want to watch. Well, I'm not Kardashian positive though. I find them vapid and insipid.
Ouch.
So yeah, that's just
I mean,
anyway,
being married to Ye was probably not the best move.
That was.
You know what? Ibagwa on that because she knew what she was getting into.
No, but I just watched the documentary on like their whole divorce and like how messy it was. But like, yeah,
I think he honestly needs help. I think he probably is something like bipolar going on. He just
but he's diagnosed bipolar. He stops taking his meds because
that's what happened.
Because he's bipolar and when he's in.
All right, this is an American Horror Story. Let's get.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's related, right? It's all related. It's just that we're talking about. Anyways, go ahead.
Yes.
Graveyard.
So anyone who hasn't watched this teaser trailer, the link is below. And it is essentially what Kim Kardashian's role is she is in real life is an influencer, and she is influencing Emma Roberts, who's also an influencer, to have a baby for the views. That seems to be the premise of this: is getting pregnant and having a kid as an influencer or an actress for the views, and it's all publicity stunt. So Kim Kardashian, as much as I hate to say it, makes sense to have her in here because this is like really what goes wrong. It's kind of like having Paris Hilton in House of Wax. It is a selling point. Hey, come see Paris Hilton die in a horror movie. And I think that's what we're getting here is come see Kim Kardashian die in a horror TV show.
I don't even have enough like motivation to watch her die.
But for me,
sorry.
Last season, I stopped after Hotel because Lady Gaga was not very good in it, and that season was awful. It's all about vampires and ghosts, as every season is now. I didn't finish it until the next season came out, and I haven't finished last season of American Horror Story yet. So I'm as a horror guy. This is season 12. I'm kind of sick of it. And I think it's just as good as anthology shows are, it runs its course because I said everything is vampires and ghosts and cults, and that's all the show is now. Just like how Supernatural went to all angels and demons, this show is at that point. And now it's becoming just a meta joke, I think, within itself.
Yeah.
So,
but at least like with Supernatural, you knew what you were getting because I mean, like after the whole like after you knew that Castiel was hanging around for the long haul, you knew there were going to be angels and demons in it. And I'm sorry, but the whole Crowley and Castiel like buddy adventure that they went on is probably some of my favorite stuff from Supernatural. And then they had the kid, but then the kid got grown up. I mean, they did all the stuff, all the tropes that these like, that the shows do, but they managed to pull it off in a cheeky, funny way. And I think that's where Supernatural succeeded where a lot of other shows don't. And that's why it stayed on for so long and actually still had views, had viewers for that long. I mean, they decided to stop, not the actual studio. The show decided to stop. So I mean, that's if that's how you end your run on a TV show, that you decide to stop, then you had a successful television show.
So are we kind of all in agreement that this show needs to be done?
What, the American Horror Story? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's time for running its course.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you want me to pull the plug on it personally? Because I will be happy to do that.
Sure. Why not?
Do it. I'm all for this, right? Like, my whole thing is, if you're going to continue a show, have the Pixar model of it, right? And I don't know if you guys know what the Pixar model is, but if you're going to, okay, so if you're going to continue a show, make sure that every season is as good as the first one.
Yep.
Or better.
Yeah. Right. Because that's the whole thing is when you start getting to a point where you're just like pulling ideas and you're trying to let's figure out how do we keep this running because it's a cash cow. Well, don't do it because it's a cash cow. Do it because you have a story to tell. Stranger Things is a good example of that.
Yeah.
5 seasons and they're done.
Right. And they said,
Yeah.
one, the kids are going to age out. 2, we only have so much story to tell. Watchmen is a perfect example of that because he said straight up, I'm only doing 1 season because that's all the story I have to tell. And I do not have another story to go. And I'm not going to try and run this show to the ground. I want the legacy to be as good as Watchmen, the original Watchmen, which it does carry on the legacy. It does a really good job of carrying it on.
I actually think it's better than the original Watchmen, to be honest with you, because I think it deals with topics that should be dealt with. But then again,
that's why Alan Moore hates
Watchmen. Yeah, well, but Watchmen itself dealt with the issues that were going on when Watchmen came out. So I mean, it did the essence of the thing. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, that's why that was basically it. That my only other comment there, like I said, is that's why Alan Moore hates it so much. It's because he didn't write it. So
yep. All right. Well, we are running short on time, so we'll skip Baldur's Gate for right now. It'll give me more time to play it.
All
I'll have a better review on it. But we have to get into the nerd out segment. The one and only Fray's Fortunes.
Yay! And it is horror related.
No, nerd pussy.
I know it's horror related. I'm so excited. Okay, so the title of my Fray's Fortune is "Love in the Time of Cthulhu."
Yes.
Cthulhu horror. Yay.
Yeah. So it's so I'm nerding. I'm nerding out about Lovecraft Country because I just recently watched it. I didn't get a chance to watch it when it first came out, and so I recently watched it. So here we go. In this time of uncertainty, the writers and actors strikes, I was looking for a show on my ever-expanding list of recommendations. Husby and I landed on Lovecraft Country, and we were not disappointed. Horror is not my first choice in just about everything, but in TV series format, I cannot get enough. I'm a huge Buffy and Angel, fan from way back when. Lovecraft in the title refers to Howard Phillips, aka H.P. Lovecraft, an American author considered one of the masters of the Gothic tale of terror. He believed humanity is an insignificant part of the cosmos and could be swept away at any moment. And this sentiment runs throughout the HBO original series, sometimes overtly, sometimes subtly. It's a classic hero story with that horror twist. Every time you think you have it figured out, they throw a new wrinkle into it, which takes the story in a totally different direction. Sometimes over the top. With the situations the characters find themselves in, it seems perfectly reasonable in the universe, though, and oftentimes can even feel mundane. Now, the stakes are life and death, of course, from the first episode, and no character seems safe even from death. We meet our hero, Atticus Tick Freeman, waking from a dream where aliens are invading Earth. He is on his way back home because his father has gone missing. After meeting up with his Uncle George to find out what happened with his father, they decide to go after him. Tick's friend Letty Lewis tags along because she and her sister are fighting. That's pretty normal. The setting is segregated 1950s and spans throughout the United States and beyond. Race and racism are underlying themes throughout the season, and a standout example is the B storyline with Letty's sister Ruby. It is both horrific and interesting with how she views herself and what extremes she is willing to go to fill that hole in herself. Now, the horror oftentimes comes from inside the characters or through their everyday life. So when the supernatural stuff, like a monster shows up, they seem to handle it much better because they've had all of this horror in their lives, every day. The fear each character deals with every day because of the color of their skin is almost palpable in each episode, even as the tides turn towards Tick and Letty and their families. As we take this journey with Tick and Letty, we see monsters and magic. There's a potion to change your appearance, a curse that makes you see your worst nightmare, and a portal through space. the series has it all, and the writing is phenomenal. Each episode takes a different form of horror, like they take from the different horror elements. And I really felt like that enhanced, like that integration of each type of horror really enhanced the overall story. And the way that they come together at the end, it's interesting and thought-provoking. It doesn't answer all the questions by the end of the season, but it's a satisfying ending because, I mean, it wasn't renewed. So that's basically all we get from it. I really loved the journey, and each episode itself, I would end the episode like, what did I just watch? And can I watch another one? And we purposefully watched just like a couple episodes at a time. We didn't binge the whole thing so that we could kind of digest. Yeah, because it's a story you have to digest before you move on. But there's a lot in it, and I really loved it. I understand why Jonathan Majors got King now.
He got King because of that role.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew he did, and I understand why. He had to do some acting gymnastics in that I don't know of many actors who would be able to do that, because it was an emotional roller coaster to watch it. I cannot believe I imagine he was exhausted every day after acting that kind of stuff, because it was crazy. And Journey Smollett, she was so good in it. I think she stole the series. She actually, Jonathan Majors is so dynamic in his acting, and she went toe to toe with him. When she was on the screen, you felt her presence, just like when he was on the screen, you felt his. I feel like the casting was done really well. The actress that plays Hippolyta in it, oh my gosh, she was amazing. And Ruby, who plays B-15 in Loki, she was so good, and her singing, the way she sings, oh my gosh. I mean, she was amazing in it. Her whole storyline, I was like gripping my pearls and wanting to see more. It was that kind of story. I was like, I don't know about this, but I want to know more. Like that kind of thing. So it's a very good series. Like if you're looking for one season of something and you really want good acting and really good storytelling, I recommend Lovecraft Country.
So my question for you is, because I haven't seen this, which is, I'm sure, a surprise to a lot of people. It's because
I thought for sure you would.
I haven't read the book yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're a book reader than a movie watcher.
So this is based off of a book that came out in 2016, which is
by Matt Ruff.
Yes, which is based off of H.P. Lovecraft's works during the Jim Crow law era. Does this make you want to read the book and see what they had in the book that you can't necessarily show on TV? Because there's always stuff that's always too much for TV. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah, I do want to read the book. It'll have to go on my long list of books that I need to read now. But I do want to read the book. I do enjoy reading the book version of things I've seen on TV. And a lot of times I'll start watching something on television and then I'll go read the book, because I'm like, there has to be more to it than this. Obviously, we're seeing, I want to see the stuff that's not on the show. I'm that person. So I do enjoy doing that. I did that with Game of Thrones. I hadn't read Game of Thrones and I started watching the series. And then by the third season, I think, I was like, well, I got to find out what's going on in the books. So then I, in between the third and fourth season, I read all the books. I was just like, I'm reading them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it really helped me. I think it helps me understand what the original intent was. And then, I see why some things had to be changed. So, I get it. I do want to read it. It was really interesting to me when I was looking at the H.P. Lovecraft stuff, because I don't know a tremendous amount about him. But they were taught. So the reason Matt Ruff thought to write it in this style was because H.P. Lovecraft was very racist. He was extremely racist.
Very racist.
And so that's why they made it. That's one of the reasons he wanted to do it and have it be African American people as the protagonists, so that it was like a, hey, you know, this could happen, and guess what? We're just as good as you know, you think that we're bad. Like, it was that kind of thing. And I loved that. I loved that they took that and they didn't discount that HP Lovecraft wrote some amazing things, but they just said, you know, it doesn't just have to be for a certain type of person, a certain color of their skin. And so, and I liked that. I thought that lent a lot more depth to the story, and I didn't know that when I had watched it, and then I found out later. And so then when I looked back on it, I was like, well, this makes it even more poignant to me. It makes it even more important, the story. So yeah, I mean, I would love to read the book. So
I mean, yes, he a racist? Yes, but think of the time period he is in.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah. And
it's like
phenomenal. He has phenomenal art.
It's not an excuse at all. You shouldn't be. But in the time that he was alive, yes, that it was very prevalent. And he lived in the North, but it was Jim Crow laws. I mean, it was the norm. But I still think that, you know, there were people that lived back then that were not racist. Okay. So I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
But it's not an excuse, H.P. Lovecraft.
I know it's not an excuse, but it is, as we always call it, a product of its time.
Yes. But he did believe that humanity itself was insignificant.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Him being, you know, racist, and I was like, well, they're part of humanity. So, you know, he thinks we're all pretty insignificant. So let's go ahead and go with that. So,
yeah. Has anyone seen, other than Fray, watched Lovecraft Country?
Yeah.
Yeah? What are your thoughts on it?
I've been talking about it in the chat. No, Lovecraft Country is really good. Just like the storytelling, kind of the way that I put it in, I tried to put it in the chat at least, was it was like you know, H.P. Lovecraft was a highly racist dude, which is why the characters both share it's the characters themselves share a great homage to the storytelling and everything like that. But it's also a giant middle finger to have the protagonist in the show to be a black dude, you know, and be a black dude that's as that is as particularly compelling and ripped as a lot of shirtless scenes in the show. But no, like the storytelling was really good, and it's kind of like, you know, they took a lot of kind of just like elements of like his stories and made it where it was like, hey, this is stuff that exists in the real world. H.P. Lovecraft wasn't telling stories as much as he was recounting, you know, like experiences as far as they told the story in this, and it was really good. Again, the other big thing is I mentioned in the chat, I actually know Jamie Chung. And or I know her through her sister. So her older sister Jean, I used to work with her at years ago when I was at Geek Squad, and we would go and hang out. She actually lived around the corner from me. But we would go hang out, whatnot, go to bars and whatnot, and she got us all tickets to go see Sucker Punch in 2011 when Sucker Punch came out. And I mean, you know, like that was the last time I saw Jamie. And it's just kind of like, you know, there's that. But I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of cool to watch somebody that you knew before. At this point, she had only done, when I knew her, she had only done The Real World. Right. So to know somebody that was like, oh yeah, you're tangentially famous for being on a reality show, but then became an actress and was in, I remember giving her the worst shit for being in Dragon Ball. Because she played Chi-Chi.
Dragon Ball Evolution. Oh goodness. Yeah.
She played Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball, and I remember giving her all of the crap for that. But like watching the evolution of, you know, trying to be an actress to her big break. Her actual big break was actually in The Hangover. Hangover 2, because she played Stu's wife.
Yep.
And then watching her in this and seeing again from the beginnings to where she was at that point. Again, I mentioned this in the chat. It was normally I'm okay with like nudity and everything like that. Seeing her in a nude scene felt kind of weird because I know her in a way that's not just a oh, she's hot. Like I actually know this chick. It's a little weird to see her naked.
Yeah.
But
wow, let's end it on that.
No, but the show itself was really good. It's really well written. I was really upset that they didn't renew it for another season. It 100% deserved another season for how well written it was. But I mean, the world is what it is, and Zaslav is in charge of things like that. So there you go.
There you
go. So Phil, I was gonna say, I'm like, well, technically, I'm sure she was, even though you gave her shit for being Chi-Chi, I'm sure when she got the role, I'm sure she was rather excited about it, not knowing that it was gonna be such a shit show.
Yeah, she was juiced.
Oh yeah, I bet. And that seems like a great role until you get into it and you're like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
You know what? A gig is a gig and money is money.
Gig is a gig.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Unless it's porn.
All right. Well,
on that note, I think it's time for us to go.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, everyone, give me your pluggables. Let's end this out. Phil, you're up first.
Me? Oh man, I wasn't even this. I'm just
you're up first.
Yeah. Because normally I'm the one that's in charge of all this. Ladies and gentlemen, Distance Learning Podcast. You guys know who we are. If you don't know who we are, check us out. Head over to Distance Nerding on our YouTube channel, on all the things. Really, I'm just stretching so I can pull out all of the things that I normally say, which I now just found.
You can catch them on Mondays.
Yeah, guys, you can catch me on Mondays. Game streams. I'm playing video games. Graveyard is actually usually moderating my chat. Tuesdays, we got a show called The Download from 6:30 to whenever we get done. Where we talk news, rumors, breakdowns. We do trailer Easter egg breakdowns and things like that. So we've been doing every episode of Ahsoka every week. And doing all the Easter eggs in each episode. And then, of course, the build, which is, the Download is a show that you can see me and Fray on together with Jamez. Jamez is tangentially there. It's really just Fray nerding marginally. It's really just me and Fray nerding out about everything. And then on Thursdays, catch me with Graveyard and whoever decides to come on the show with us for the build from 6 to 8. That one's a little more rigid, so it is from 6 to 8. Where I build Lego on stream. We talk to celebrities. We do brackets and stuff like that. Like the very, very, very controversial Star Wars brackets that we've done the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Oh man.
Are you guys done with those?
Yes, we are.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness we're done with
that. The example here, just so you can see the kind of stuff that I build on the show. This is what I just built this week. It's the Executor class Super Star Destroyer with the little mini Star Destroyers next to it.
Yep. So cute.
Wow.
So that's that right there. Of course, you can find us on all social medias that exist. If it exists, we're there on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and mandals. And to be soon, Graveyard's beard. Just all beard.
I knew there were going to be pictures of beards.
the beard. It's going to be taking up all of the OnlyFans soon.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Phil. Captain.
Hi, I am the captain, your captain. You can find me here on Kyber Cave Productions at least 3 times a week, if not 4 times a week. And soon it's going to be 5 because we are going to be starting the new order soon. So we got all the characters ready. We just need to do our little preclude role-playing setups, and then we get started. I'm also still waiting for your character, Phil.
I know. I'm sorry. I have so much going on. I'm like, right now I'm supposed to be at work, so it's
That's fine. We can always get you in later. It's fine. We have a lot of characters now, but yeah. So we will be doing that. It's a role playing game that is based on a world that was created on from myself and my friend, and we also made the rules and everything else. So we're beta testing it. That's basically what we're doing for the show. But it's gonna be great. The campaign's already set, and one of the players has already done their pre-show role-playing session, and he had a lot of fun. Shadu had a lot of fun. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait to do Frays and Gravies.
He's a nerd.
Anyway, so that's yes. You can also find me on Spotify. I'm a musician and a singer. I have originals. You can go find them. I think we have links for them somewhere. And I write music for this show. So for the shows in general. So yes, I do a lot of stuff, and I act as well. Okay.
Awesome.
And on Wednesdays, I have a show in Rio Vista that if you are in the area, please come on down. I run a kick-ass karaoke show. That's it. Anyways.
Fray, the creator of the world between worlds.
Fray, the goat.
Yes.
Only goat I want to be. All right. Hi, everybody. I am Fray. I am on the Nerd Out every Saturday. I also do our Discord. So if you definitely go to our Discord. The Ahsoka game stuff is up there. I will be posting the point totals today because I forgot to do it on Thursday. I apologize. And I will have the actual, hey, Danny. I will have the predictions for part 5 up as soon as possible. I still need mezzos and jamezzas, and then we will get that posted. I am on the Download Tuesday with Young Phil and Jamez. I also mod for their Discord as well. Definitely can come and say hi there. I'm usually talking nonsense on it at any given time.
Nonsense on there at any given time.
I have been known to just randomly share Barbie memes and things like that just for the heck of it. So I may start doing that find the Barbie meme thing on our Discords. If you guys want that, let me know. If you want me to stop that, let me know.
I want more of it, please.
Never.
Kyber K Productions does have a Patreon. I have been known to show up in videos on there called Fray About Town.
Awesome.
You can
subscribe to Patreon.
Yeah, absolutely. Patreon, please. If you'd like to be a patron, please give us a little cha-ching. It's for as little as $1. You can be a patron for us. And let's see, what else do? I have my own channel called @FrayGirl on YouTube. And I do something called Classified on there, which is taking fandoms, like our favorite fandoms, and classifying them into Dungeons and Dragons classes. And it's me and Shadu that do that, and Shadu do that. That's fun. And yeah, so we do that, and we have a great time. The Bad Batch is up right now, so if you need a little bit extra Star Wars and want to look at some clones, go ahead and do that. We also have a supplemental series coming out called Journals of the Classes, and it actually tells you all the Dungeons and Dragons classes with all of their subclasses. We go over those. So if you don't know the classes, or if it's something you'd like to do with your friends where you just take your favorite fandoms and classify them, you can do that yourself, and we will have that up. It's a 13-week series on that one. And yeah, and more fun stuff coming up in Corgi shorts. Our Corgi shorts are they're the things that get the most views on my channel. So if you want Corgi shorts, you can also go to my channel and see my Corgis being ridiculous.
No.
Awesome. Thank you. I am Graveyard. You can find me here 2 to 3 to 4 days a week at Kyber K Productions. On top of that, I am the co-host of the Mostly Pod Out at Night, Mostly Podcasts.
Are you waiting for it?
I'm waiting for it.
I'm
waiting for
it. Mostly.
Yes, you can find that every Wednesday. New releases at ComicConRadio.com, along with my great people of Distance Nerding and Geek Saga and everyone else there. On top of that, we are starting a brand new interview show called Conversations in the Void, starting in October, where I'm going to be interviewing people in the horror community. So if you know anyone in there that wants to join and nerd out on horror stuff with me, make sure to check us out at Pod Out at Night and all social media. Follow us. That's going to be strictly on YouTube at Pod Out at Night, and with uploads to Comic-Con Radio. Make sure to check that out. Also, you can find me on Thursdays on The Build with Young Phil, Fray sometimes, Forge when he's able to make it. Never James, but we appreciate James, and we invite him every single Thursday too. It's
James
we're redoing
because he doesn't like you, Grave. It's for some reason
fair.
we don't know what it is.
That's fair.
My dogs have been on more times than James.
That is not a lie. That's actually.
Yeah. By the way, I'm the one who said the Maharet.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was Van.
how would
So-
it be Van?
If you want to talk nerdy to us, to anyone here on screen in chat, join our Discord. It's Kyber K Productions. Join our Distance Learning Discord, where Fray is a mod as well. So you can talk nerdy, you can talk horror, you can talk anything and everything with us. We are there for you. And make sure to join our Patreon, as Fray said, just for a little $1 a month. You are entered to win free swag every 6 months, I believe, or every quarter. So the more money you contribute, the better swag you can potentially win. Also, check out kybercave.com to get your lightsaber, where you can get discounts. You can help support our channel that way as well. And while I'm wearing only Distance Nerdy merch today, but kcpmerch.com, you can get merch for all your favorite shows, and we have new stuff coming out. So everything helps support us and what we do and help bring you new shows like New Order when it comes out. So, what's Phil got there?
No, that's my work shirt.
Oh, okay.
Getting
So,
ready. Because I'm in my undershirt right now. I'm getting ready to put my work shirt back on. So
gotcha.
Nice.
So I'd like to thank everyone here for joining us and everyone for joining us now. Thank you, carers, dwellers, and splunkers. And we'll see you tomorrow night for Saber Rattle. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for nerding out with us.
Bye.